today's world of uncertainties, do you have any questions about career, parenthood, love, or life in general? You are in the right place. This is a digital love letter to oneself, and I'm inviting you to take this journey with me as we seek answers to our questions. This is Dear Self with me, Aileen, a mother, a daughter, and a nurse, and I'm publishing weekly. And let's continue our journey with our new topic this week. Let's start! Hello, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Dear Self with me, Aileen. In this episode, I'll be sharing with you my take on answering the question: can success bring happiness? Is it a guarantee when we are successful, we are happy? Well, there's a noontime show back home in the Philippines where young girls are asked, "Ano gusto mong maging paglaki?" And I would scribble answers in my head as if I'm the kid being asked by the host of that noontime show. I can remember my answer would be, I want to become a flight attendant and or a ramp model, without acknowledging that I'm vertically challenged. But when I learned about my disadvantage, I moved on to wanting to become an astronaut. And then I realized I don't have the brains for it. And around high school, I was fascinated with wanting to become a DJ. I was once a sidekick of my cousin who was also a DJ, and I really wanted to become one. I find it very cool. That I decided that I would take up AB Mass Communications when I reach college. But then I realized there were no opportunities for my chosen field in Butuan City, from where I'm from. So I decided to have different options for choosing my course. I was so uncertain that it was so evident in my college applications. Imagine my preferred courses were: first is nursing, second is psychology, third is civil engineering. They were all in the ends of spectrum in sciences. Well, why was I so obsessed in choosing my course? It's because we are told that being successful will bring contentment and happiness. And I thought that if I just finished my course, I would be successful. Well, there's a Filipino toxic trait where, in order for you to become successful, it's either you become, it's like top five courses. It's either you become a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, a teacher, or an engineer. And that's the top five courses. It's like if you choose that one of those five courses, it's like success guarantee. Well, we associate success with fame, position, and money. And when we all have that, we associate it with happiness. If we have just fame, position, and money, that would make us very happy. Well, in general, we feel that success will make us happy. Here I am, 16 years after graduating Bachelor of Science in Nursing. I am a registered nurse in both Philippines and here in the UK. But why do I feel like I'm not yet successful? Well, if being a registered nurse is a guarantee to success, why do I not feel it? Is there something missing? Well, Albert Einstein's law of general relativity. It states that space and time are relative, and all motion must be relative to a frame of reference. There is no absolute reference. One can measure velocity if the object or momentum is only in relation to other objects. When I was reading this theory, I can't help but compare it how we define success. Well, when we say space and time is relative, it means that they depend on the motion of the observer who measures them. Like in success, I find myself or like I find myself that I am the observer. We are the observer, meaning we are the ones who will measure our own success, and that there is no absolute, like standard in measuring our own definition of success. And we are not limited to a specific time frame in achieving of what we mean by success. Well, in Cambridge Dictionary, success is defined as achieving the results that we wanted or hoped for. I'd like to like give emphasis on we wanted, we hoped for. Well, there is no absolute reference, meaning we have a different meaning of success. Well, I'd like to share with you guys, friends, how I define my own success. Well, here it is. First is that success is a journey, not a destination. Well, I've been reading this book, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari. Well, unfortunately, I wasn't able to finish it because I left my book in the Philippines when I went home last year. Well, it's a story of a famous lawyer, Julian Mantle. At the height of his career, he was confronted with a spiritual crisis and he made a 180-degree turn away from his field and embarked into a lifelong search for his own meaning of success. With this, with this story of Julian Mantle, it contradicts already our own definition, like how we know about success. With this, it means that position is not a measurement of success. So, success is a journey, not a destination. So, having the positions like the destination, it's not really how we define success. It's the journey, how I define my success. Second is success is a state of mind. Jack Gleason rose to stardom after his portrayal of the role Joffrey Baratheon in the famous TV show Game of Thrones. If you are a Game of Thrones fan or fanatic, you would know Jack Gleason. He portrayed Joffrey Baratheon very well that I would hate him and I would have a different like I would have a hard time differentiating Jack Gleason from Joffrey Baratheon. And I believe that he was born to play the role of Joffrey Baratheon. Who would have thought that after his successful role, imagine at the age of 21, he announced that he is retiring from entertainment business and wanted to go to school. And so he did that. He even said that in one of his interviews, he said that I'm happy to sacrifice a big paycheck for my happiness. Well, aren't we all thought that success would mean like money? How come this famous person turned away from a big paycheck and just wanting to have happiness? So meaning big paycheck is not a guarantee to happiness. I thought money is a measurement of success and is a guarantee of success. However, the story of Jack Gleason states otherwise. Third is, for me, success is a lifelong process. In Joshua 1 8, this book, it says here, I'd like to read this with you guys. Joshua 1 8 says that this book of the law shall not depart from your mouth, but you shall meditate on it night and day, so you may be careful to do according to all that is written therein. For the for you will make your way prosperous and you will find success. End quote. Well, in Joshua 1 8, then, God measures our success with obedience, faithfulness, and righteousness. And obedience, faithfulness, and righteousness to God's word is like a lifelong process. It's like, even up until now, I shared with you a while back about my spiritual journey. And no, it's it's a Herculean task really to be like faithful, to be obedient all the time, and to be righteous, because we are in this world. and we try to be not of this world, but it's really difficult, especially that left and right you have too many temptations, and you think that um you just can't, you're just too pressured, and you just have to give in sometimes. But being obedient and being faithful and righteous is God's way of measuring success. Well, when Albert Einstein said that in his law of general relativity, that one's velocity can be measured if the object is only in relation to other objects. It's I it's like it's the same thing as well, that if we relate our meaning of success with God's. Well, my third point only applies if you believe in God, of course, because our faith is imprinted on how we truly define success and achieve in pursuit of happiness. Because sometimes we're too focused on like thinking that the meaning of success is like power, fame, and money. That sometimes we I don't know if we forget, or if we really don't we didn't know that God's true definition of measuring success according to the book of Bible, or in Joshua 1:8 particularly, is that he measures success with obedience, faithfulness, and righteousness, that I think is harder to achieve than power, money, and fame. And um, it's because our faith is imprinted on how we truly define success. And we end up chasing the wrong definition of success. Then no wonder we feel like there's something missing. Like me personally, for the past like probably couple of months, I feel like I haven't done anything, or like I'm even halfway through, or I'm not even half of the journey of I wanted to be. Like I'm already a registered nurse here. I have a decent job, but when you feel like it, or when I try to assess myself, I feel like, am I truly successful? It's because that I at the start I even now I still measure success as money, power, and fame. And in all of these three, I don't have those. I don't have money. Well, I have a decent job, I have a decent pay, but not enough to really say that I am successful. Well, position, well, I'm a registered nurse in one of the hospitals here, but not enough to really say that I'm comfortable. And I'm not famous. If only I'm famous, I would stop working and just, if I'm famous as like an, if Jack Gleason, I would probably be doing more projects and accepting projects so that I'll be more famous and be more secure. However, when I try to assess the true definition of success and thinking that we are the observer, we are the ones who are in the authority to define how we truly measure success. Because sometimes we compare ourselves to other people, that we end up being depressed, we end up being insecure, and we end up being like we haven't done anything. As a matter of fact, personally, I feel like I haven't really established or haven't done anything, and that's a bit unfair. I feel like it's a bit unfair to all the struggles that I went through to be here. It's a bit unfair, I think, of all the help that I received um, for me to be able to come here. And it would be very unfair for my mentors as well during my college or uni, that I feel like I'm feeling like this. So this is like a real life situation. And sometimes I feel like I'm sour graping the back of my mind, like I feel like I'm sour graping just because I don't have fame, I don't have the money, and I don't have the position. I feel like I'm sour graping, and I'm finding just justification that what success truly means to me. But with Jack Gleason and the story as well of the monk who sold his Ferrari. That's a book by um who wrote that book? I forgot his name. Um, Let me check. I wanted to make sure that I give the correct name, because Robin Sharma, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. Um, yeah, these are inspired by real life stories, and Jack Gleason himself is a he, he- he's a famous actor, and he really like had 180 degrees turn away from fame. Well, um, I'd like to say that although it's still very hard for me to accept, I'm still in the process of accepting success, because we are the ones who really would be able to understand our own meaning of success, because we are the ones, there's no definite standard of what we hope for. What I hope for is not the same as what you hope for, so that means that we shouldn't have the same standards of how we measure success. And we end up chasing the wrong definition, that no wonder we feel like empty, we feel like tired, or we feel like unaccomplished, or we have not done anything. Well, we thought that it would lead to happiness, when it's actually the other way around. In pursuit of happiness, we find ourselves successful. And if you are feeling the same, if you're feeling the same way, then friends, this is your sign to not be pressured. If you don't have the fame, if you don't have the position and the money, well, friends, it is not a measurement of success. Instead, let us enjoy the journey and have a healthy state of mind. Well, to be honest, um, when I was, I think I have this sense of like following your heart to be happy. I think this is like part of my midlife crisis. I'm nearly 40, and I think like I have like a wider perspective of how my life should be, because we keep on chasing different things, keep on chasing fame, keep on chasing position, but then at the end of the day, we just have to ask ourselves, does those things make me happy? And sometimes the answer is no. So um, let's not be let's not be pressured by what society says and what they dictate about success, but we just have to dig deep inside to find the courage to truly find our happiness. And um, they say that happiness is a prelude to success. So friends, do what make you happy. Do what makes us happy. If if there's a commercial before, I don't know if you remember that, a son wanted to become a like want to go to arts, but the parents wanted them to be a doctor, but then he wanted to study a different course. So that's one of the toxic Filipino culture. But now it's like mental health is like the priority. So do what makes us happy, because we have a different meaning of success. And there's a saying here that there's a saying by, where is it? Let me see here. Saying by Colin Davis, that the road to success and the road to failure are almost exactly the same. And it's all up to us, guys, of which road we're gonna go. If our own measurement of success is based by other people, or a measurement of our success is based on our faith, on how we believe, and how on what we hoped for, and what we like wanted. And this is a sign, guys, friends. This is a sign to not be pressured by anything. And if you're feeling the same, go ahead and send me a message in my Facebook page, Aileen Frances, and I'm on Instagram as well, me underscore alienated. And I will be uploading this to my YouTube channel in Dear Self with me, Eileen. I will be posting this one in YouTube. And this is also streaming in Spotify and Apple Podcast as Dear Self with me, Eileen. And go ahead, guys, and leave a message. Um, Share whatever your insights about if success truly gives us happiness, or it's the other way around, that happiness, chasing happiness, will lead us to the ultimate or the penultimate meaning of success. Quintessential, sorry, the quintessential meaning of success. Well, I think I'm blabbering about this, and if people would say that you're just sour graping because you don't have, well, I'm happy that I was able to really define my true success, because if I will not do it, I will just end up being sad, because I just end up being comparing myself with others, because I tend to follow what society dictates of how we measure success. But at the end of the day, um, it's us. Um, it's our own happiness, and do what makes us happy. And thank you so much, guys, for listening, and hope to hear from you soon. And thank you so much. And it's snowing here in Belfast as I am recording this podcast. I could see outside that it's freezing. The snow is quite heavy today, so bundle up, guys. And thank you so much for listening, and hope to hear from you soon. Thank you so much, and good night.